I don't care where she is. Hunt her down. I want her back here. Am I not clear? Get out, now, everyone. After they left, I sat on my chair thinking about that secretary that ran away with my confidential files. I'm Ray, the CEO of this and many other IT companies around the world, and here's my story. I've always been a rough soul, an untamed animal as people call me. I'm a self-made man. I lost my mom when I was young, and Dad's now an alien and kind of my business competitor too. I just live alone with my little sister Dora. She's adorable. I can't believe she's finishing school soon.
Ray, come out! I'm so excited to see you in that costume.
This is not working out, Dora. I'm only made for suit. Can't I just wear that for the Christmas party?
Can't. It's a beach theme party. Now, are you coming out, or I'll ask the sales girls to check on you?
Of course. I wore that horrible floral shirt at the party and was uneasy as hell. I slowly crept back to my room when Dora was not watching. But then, a young lady bumped into me, and we both went rolling down the stairs. Everyone gathered around watching us. Now, this incident made me even more embarrassed. Can't you watch where you're going? How lame. What are you? She immediately left crying, but I couldn't care less. But then, Dora pulled me aside angrily and said she was Sana, her teacher, her only favorite. And I've heard her now. That whole night she remained upset, until Dad came.
Dad! Finally! Happy Christmas!
They both hugged and walked into the dining hall like I wasn't even there. Dad always loved Dora more, and I'm his least favorite for an insane reason. Apparently, before I was born, the doctors had predicted that I'd be a girl. But there I came as this tough boy. He's been disappointed with me since then, and when Dora was born, he showered the love and care on her in double. Growing up, I never looked upon him for anything either, but deep in my heart, I've longed for some parental love. So I went and joined them for dinner, and Dad was giving Dora a MacBook Pro, and then he looked at me and threw an old blanket on my face.
It's been sleeping in my house for so long. Maybe your mother's. Old and dead. You can have it.
It just got on my nerves so bad. I ran up to my room and slammed the door shut. I hate him for hating me so much. A few days later, I saw a familiar young lady in my office reception. Oh, that teacher. What is she doing here? Turns out she's here to interview for the post of my personal secretary. But I heard you're a teacher.
Not anymore, sir. I had to resign after that night. All my students were there and...
You mean the Christmas party night? She nodded. Oh man. So I'm the reason she's jobless now. I don't know what I thought, but I instantly told her she's hired. You can join tomorrow. She thanked me and apologized for that night. No, it's my fault too. I should be more sorry. She smiled and walked out. Did I just say sorry? Weird. Since Sana joined, work has been very easy for me. She's managing things so well. It was soon a month. This is when Dora got to know about Sana in my office. She was so happy that she came to my office to personally congratulate her and celebrate her 1 month here. But little did I know they both would create such a fuss during my most important presentation. What the heck, Sana? You, of all, should know how important this meeting is to me. And others, shouting and jumping like kindergarten kids? Don't you have work to do? Everyone went back to their blocks. Dora took Sana's hand and they both left the office. I messed up my presentation and was sure Sana's not going to come back to the office. And as expected, she sent her resignation letter the next day. I was so done with my personal secretary games, especially with ladies. So I immediately hired a male secretary, and the next couple of days were good. And then, boom. Are you actually sleeping? You're supposed to be taking notes, you... As days went by, I realized I miss Sana terribly. And seeing Dora stare at me every day like I'm some psycho, I decided I needed to get Sana back. Tens of thousands of mails and calls, she wasn't responding to any of them. One evening, I drove straight to her address. It was a narrow street that looked like a slum. Was Sana living here? I parked my car and walked along, and there was some woman selling flowers by the roadside. I stopped by to ask about Sana. But then I realized that woman was Sana. I've never felt that guilty all my life. When she looked at me, I had no words, only some secret tears under my coolers. Sana, I want you back. I'm sorry. I promise you won't have to leave disheartened from there anymore. Just pack your things. I'll find you a better place to stay. You're my secretary anyway. She stared at me blank as I walked off. I didn't know if I was doing the right thing, but I just had to. I sent my limo to get her to my guest house that very evening, and I was surprised she actually came and even joined the office the next day. This time, I was very cautious not to show myself as a monster to her.
Sir, thank you for everything. You have no idea what I've been through. And the past few months, my husband left. He took my daughter. She's just 1 year old, living with that criminal now.
Husband? Daughter? It melted my heart to see her break down. I promised her I'd do the best I can and send her back to work, but for the whole day at the office, I just couldn't stop staring at her. She's a Wonder Woman. I must do what I can to make her happy again. That evening, as I was returning home, some strange men wearing black masks stopped my car. They pulled my driver out, and I started freaking out. They dragged me out too, but then we heard a siren, and they all ran away. I breathed out at last. But it turned out it wasn't a real police siren. It was Dora playing that tune from her phone. Dora, what are you doing here?
I was just sneaking out for a nighttime ice cream with a friend. Bad luck, I can't now.
Get in the car. We drove back home in weird silence. Was someone trying to hurt me? The next day, as I reached the office, Sana came running.
Sir, I heard what happened. It must be him, my criminal husband. He'd do anything to hurt me. Anyone who's close to me is always close to danger. I'm so sorry I dragged you into this.
If that's right, and that's him, he's messed with the wrong man. He'll pay for it. I sent my team immediately to reach out to him, but he had disappeared somewhere with his daughter. When Sana knew her child's missing, she froze out. I took her home with me, and Dora made her smile in seconds. We all had dinner together. Later that night, I felt someone was standing at my door. I opened, and Sana fell in my arms. I looked into her eyes for the first time, and I was lost. After a moment, I realized I was still holding her and let her down. What were you thinking? You were guarding me, weren't you? I have securities for that, and she closed my mouth with her hands.
I know, but I can't trust anyone. I want you to be safe. I care for you. I hate to say this, but I think I love you, sir.
I stood there surprised when suddenly Dora ran in.
Whoa. Don't tell me you're getting married. God, I'm so happy. Miss Sana. So I can call you just Sana now?
Dora, stop. I walked out and Dora came after me.
Ray, stop acting like a robot. We both know you have a very good, soft heart inside. And I can see happiness there whenever you're with Sana. Admit it. You have feelings for her too.
I can't, okay? The next morning, I saw Sana entering the house with her bags.
I asked her to shift here. I loved some company after all.
That's not gonna happen. Sana will move back to the guest house now.
Then I'm gonna move out with her. You'd like that?
That was a wicked plan. I left out angrily. I worked late that day and didn't even realize it was night until I saw Sana dozing off on her table. I walked up to her. I love you, Sana, but I don't want to. You know why.
Sir, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have slept here.
No, it's late anyway. Let's go home.
Home?
I nodded and took her to my house. On the way, we were stopped by that masked gang again, but this time it was different.
Dora, come out!
I drove quickly past them, but I didn't understand and what they wanted from her. I asked her about it, but she just swiped it away. I was thinking about it while walking in the garden when Sana came with a photo in hand.
This is why you don't want to, right?
She showed me that picture I didn't want to see. Her father, Mr. Williams, my college professor, the one I hated the most. We were always fighting because he never liked my attitude. So, on the last day, my friend suggested we push him down the hill after the farewell party. I was okay too, but at the last moment, I felt guilty and backed off. But my friends executed the plan, and Mr. Williams is no more. I knew I had a hand in it. That's why I was trying to push off Sana's feelings on me. But she's found it out now. Sana, I'm really sorry for your dad. You're right. Since when I realized you're his daughter, I couldn't, because whenever I see you, I see him, Mr. Williams. He's haunting me.
I thought only dead people haunt.
Yes, he's alive?
Yes, they did push him down, but Dad never fell a long way down.
I hugged her tight.
Now can you?
I can. I pulled her close and we kissed. It was magical. The next few days, we were hanging out a lot. Business was all good, too. But then one day, Dad came home angrily.
Ray, I lost my 2 companies today in that single contract you signed. What's wrong with you?
Dad, relax. I did sign a contract today, but your name wasn't there in those companies I took over. But he refused to listen. He went on to throw and break everything in the house.
Dad, enough! I should have stopped you months ago when you planned to finish Ray. Now you're going too much.
Wait, finish me? Turns out, Dad is the one who had sent those masked men to attack me and destroy my company too. Dora has found it somehow and has promised those men with more money than Dad if they left me alone. That's why they had called out her name that night. Dad was unbelievable. Seriously, Dad? You do this? I know what you want. I went to Dora's room, put on her beautiful long red dress, and walked down the stairs. This, right? Happy now? I'm a girl, just like Dora. And here, your company contracts. Seriously, I don't understand the very base of your hatred for me. If this was one, you've got it now. But sorry, I'm not this. I'm Ray, a psycho dad's hated one, and a successful businessman. Go now! Out! I felt so emotional that I broke down in tears. I'm not going to see my dad ever again, but I have Sana and Dora. Days passed and I managed to reach out to Sana's husband, and it turned out he had left the child in an orphanage and was spending time in jail for a murder. Sana got divorced soon, and now Sana's daughter, our little daughter, is with us too.